the southeastern coast of Australia is frequently besieged. A huge army of spider crabs takes over the shallows. They carpet the seabed and stretch further than the eye can see. They're vulnerable to attack, but that doesn't stop them. Despite the danger, thousands march towards the shore, and as quickly as they arrive, they vanish. One man is determined to find out why they come here. He wants to unravel one of the strangest phenomenons in nature. The mass march of the spider crabs. Over 200 years ago, a strange discovery was made off the coast of Australia. A French cutter, the Corsairina, was exploring. Strong winds pushed the ship towards Tasmania. As they passed land, a zoologist called Francois Perron was stunned by what he saw. Thousands of crab shells had washed up on the beach. Perron was baffled. Local people feared it was a curse, or worse, that it signaled the end of the world. And it wasn't a one-off occurrence. It still happens today. Melbourne is the second largest city in Australia. It's built on the coast and overlooks Port Phillip Bay. The bay is a haven for sailors and water sports enthusiasts. Tourists flock here. And so do spider crabs, in their thousands. Early June 2011. An investigation is underway. Dr. Julian Finn lives in Melbourne. He's an oceanologist, and he studied wildlife in Port Phillip Bay for nearly 20 years. But since an extraordinary encounter several years ago, his work has been focused on one species in particular. In June 2005, he was in a part of the bay called Blairgowrie. This is what he saw. Down on the seabed, he noticed a few crabs. That wasn't unusual. But this was. Crabs stretched as far as the eye could see. They were great spider crabs. And he estimated there were 50,000 of them. It was an eerie sight. marched in the same direction, too busy even to stop and feed. Great spider crabs usually live in deep water, but much of their lives are a mystery. Why had they come to the bay, and in such huge numbers? Julian wasn't the first person to see them.
Over the last number of years, we've had lots of reports of large numbers of crabs coming into this area, but we don't know why they're here. We don't know what they're doing. So I'm going to be doing a lot of diving over the next month, and hopefully I'll find out.
Julian is determined to find out more about the mysterious crab army. But a daunting task lies ahead. Port Phillip is a large bay, and the crabs don't always gather in the same place. They've been seen in 4 different locations. Julian decides to start his search back where he began, in Blairgowrie. Luckily, it's a clear day, and the sea is relatively calm. Brown boobies take advantage of the good weather and dive for fish and squid. Spurred on by memories of his 2005 encounter, Julian gets ready. A rope's tied tightly around his body. The other end's attached to a buoy, so the team can keep track of where he is. Now his search can begin. But before he reaches the seabed, he's met by a welcoming committee. Bottlenose dolphins greet the stranger in their midst. Curiosity satisfied, they disappear into the distance. Julian drops down to the seafloor. This is where he last saw the crab army. Today it's a very different picture. It's hard to believe that 6 years ago he saw over 50,000 crabs here. There's not a single one in sight. It's a frustrating start, but he's not too discouraged. Julian has a theory about when the crabs will gather in the bay.
I also went back through all the museum records and all my historic photos and looked at particular times when crabs had been seen. And it occurred to me that the best time would be June, and the best time would be when the current stops. And traditionally, in this area, that's before the full moon.
He thinks the day the crabs are most likely to congregate is 2 days before the June full moon. That's just 10 days away. Day 2 of the search. In 2010, a large number of crabs were seen near Rye Pier on the east of the bay. Julian wants to see if they've come back. And this time, he's bought special equipment to help him. A sea scooter. Now he'll be able to cover a much larger area a lot quicker. A 100 meters beyond the pier, the seabed is a patchwork of algae. All seems still. Something's moving. He may have struck lucky. It's a spider crab. Unlike most crabs, the spider crab can walk forwards as well as sideways. The surface of its shell is covered in spines and matted with algae. This is a female. The legs and pincers of male crabs are twice as long. Tentacles flicker between its eyes and around its mouth. It uses them to test the water and to help it find food. It's a perfect opportunity to study a crab up close, but it's not what Julian is looking for. The crab is on its own. He decides to search underneath the pier instead. The water is cloudy and the visibility poor. Then something strange catches his eye. It's a young spider crab. It's barely a quarter the size of an adult. And it's disguising itself. It's using algae as camouflage. The young crab carefully attaches seaweed to its body, using mucus from its mouth like glue. Pieces of sponge stick onto its spiny shell easily. Young spider crabs spend their childhood in shallow water. Without camouflage like this, many would fall victim to predators. It's a captivating discovery. But he still hasn't found the large number of crabs he's looking for. Next day, the team widens their search to St. Leonard. It's the only place on the west of the bay where a mass of crabs has been seen. Conditions here are more difficult. The opening of the bay draws in strong currents. Seawater surges like a rapid river. Julian checks his charts.
Maybe here. Channel.
He's pinpointed a channel where he thinks the crabs could be, but the choppy water calls for a different approach. They can't use the sea scooter, and a lone diver could get dragged in the current. So 3 of them will work together instead. All 3 hold onto a rope. The other end's attached to a buoy. Working side by side, their search begins. They reach a depth of 15 meters. It's the deepest they've explored so far. The divers line up along the rope. Julian's in the middle and leads the way. All eyes scour the seabed. Suddenly, there's a breakthrough. It's an adult spider crab, and it's on the move. The team follows, and so does another spider crab. Crabs appear from all directions. Around 30 slowly make their way towards shallow water. It's a strange, silent march. And they seem to be moving with a sense of purpose. It's a major breakthrough, and Julian has an idea where the crabs are going. He thinks they're heading towards the south of Port Phillip Bay, and he wants to get there first. The team race across the bay. Calmer conditions means the scooter is back in action. It looks like he was right. A large number of crabs have gathered here. But there are far fewer than the 50,000 he saw in 2005. He estimates there are 500 at most. Suddenly, the scene changes. crabs scatter as danger arrives. Hungry rays are on the prowl. Sand settles, revealing the deadly aftermath of the attack. The stingray isn't finished. As panic spreads, the crabs don't run away. Instead, they climb on top of each other and build a huge tower of writhing bodies. Julian thinks they may be trying to make themselves look like one big creature to ward off predators. Seems to work. The stingray vanishes. Calm is restored. The day draws to a close. It's been another important breakthrough. But Julian still hasn't found the mass gathering on the scale he saw in 2005. Later that evening, he goes back to see if the crabs are still there. The ocean, after dark, is a different world. A reef squid glides slowly by. Its body casts a ghostly glow under the bright lights as it looks for food. A sea star is hungry too. And it's found something to eat. A scallop is semi-submerged, but not deep enough to escape detection. Time to make a swift exit. The scallop has a special muscle, which it uses to open and close its shell quickly, powering it to safety. The seabed is alive with life. But the crabs Julian saw earlier that day have vanished. Next day, the team prepares to resume the search when important news reaches them. A local diver has been looking for crabs too.
Over there at the...
He hasn't seen any where they are, but he has seen some a short way away. The team hurries as they follow his lead. First impressions are disappointing. Until a closer look reveals some familiar faces. What look like clumps of weed are hundreds of young spider crabs. The seabed is the scene of an enormous fancy dress parade. One young crab sports a dramatic headdress. Most of the crabs are unrecognizable. Many are busy looking for food. Sensitive organs at the end of their legs tell them what's worth eating and what's not. Every crab fends for itself. Competition for food is fierce. A hungry crab will even steal its neighbor's disguise if it's worth eating. The further Julian ventures, the more crabs he finds. It's the first time he's found such a large gathering of young crabs. They're more heavily camouflaged than the other young crabs he's seen. He wonders if this could be a nursery. It's an exciting discovery, but one question looms large. Where are their parents? It's 2 days before the June full moon, the day Julian predicts there will be a mass crab congregation. As the search gets back underway, the water is unusually clear. The team can clearly see the ocean floor 20 meters below them. All eyes scour the seabed. Julian has moved the search to the east of the bay. Everything he's seen so far points this way. The first gathering they saw in St. Leonard's was moving southeast. The second, gathering near Blairgowrie, was moving northeast. Julian thinks this is where they will converge. A sudden cry alerts the team. Someone spotted a mass of dark shapes on the seabed. Despite the clear water, they can't be sure what they are. The team race to get ready. There's only one way to find out. Julian slowly descends. He can't believe his eyes. spider crab army is here, in full force. Unlike the young crabs, they aren't camouflaged. They're adults, bright red and in their prime. A lone diver is dwarfed by the army. The sheer number is overwhelming. At first sight, there's twice, if not 3 times, the number of crabs Julian saw in 2005. The seabed is painted red. There seems to be no end to them in sight. Julian estimates the number of crabs is more than 100,000, and it keeps growing. The mass march of the spider crabs is in full swing. Suddenly, the mood changes. The crabs stop walking forwards and climb on top of each other instead. Something's caused a panic. This. A huge stingray sweeps past Julian. But it's not after him. Crabs race to escape. Some don't make it. The ray overwhelms its victims. Special shell-crushing plates make light work of the crab's body. And the stingray isn't alone. The hungry rays are spoilt for choice. But an army this big has safety in numbers. The attacks barely make any impact at all. For Julian, it's been an unforgettable day. His forecast that the crabs would congregate 2 days before the June full moon was right, and he's delighted.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've never seen so many crabs ever. I told you it would happen. Now it's highlighted on the sheet. Today was the day. So still I am amazed. So many and so big.
But now that he's found the crabs, can he unravel the mystery of why they come here? The team keeps a close watch on the crabs throughout the night. If spider crabs gather in the shallows to breed, as some scientists think, after dark is the most likely time that they'll mate. Their numbers don't shrink at night. If anything, there seems to be even more of them. A lone ray is on patrol. Crabs clamber on top of each other again, but there's no sign that they are mating. Why they're here is still a mystery. Early the next day, the team returns to the scene of the mass gathering. The crabs are still here, but they're no longer marching. They're hardly moving at all. They're eerily still. Julian notices some do something which looks strange and painful. They pinch their eyes with their claws. Soon, they're all doing it. It's the prelude to a dramatic change. Their bodies seem to double in size. The crabs are molting. They're shedding their old bodies and replacing them with new ones. Old shells perch on top of their new ones, like hats. Touching their eyes stimulates the hormones they need to molt. They suck water into their old shells until the pressure bursts them open, revealing new ones. The crab army is slowly reborn. Unwrapping new legs is the next challenge. Forcing a new body out of an old one isn't easy, so the crabs let the current and waves help them. Fresh legs are finally free. One crab's molt is almost over. The current finishes the job. The crab's new body is soft and fleshy. It will be about an hour until its legs are hard enough for it to stand. Molting can be a great challenge. For some, it's too great. An old shell can easily become a coffin. But thanks to fast currents and strong waves, thousands succeed. Julian has solved part of the mystery. One reason the crabs come here is to molt. The currents in Port Phillip Bay flow fastest in spring, around the time of the full moon, and the strongest waves are in the shallows. But it's not without risks. Freshly molted crabs are highly vulnerable. And predators come in many guises. Sea stars roll in, searching for soft targets. The crabs are sitting ducks. Sea stars' feet are laced with suckers. And once they grip, they don't let go. The freshly molted crab flails helplessly. It won't be mobile for at least an hour. Escape is impossible. The sea star liquefies the crab's leg with gastric juice. Similar scenes happen all around. The seabed is crowded with hungry sea stars and helpless crabs. As the crabs regain the use of their legs, they beat a hasty retreat. But they're not out of danger. Shoals of fish have arrived. They join the feeding frenzy. And nothing goes to waste. Crabs scatter in all directions. But for some, there's simply no escape. Crab meat is a seal favorite. They're plucked from the seabed with ease. But however many predators arrive, the crabs vastly outnumber them all. Thousands survive and return to the deep. That's their secret. By molting together, spider crabs have a much greater chance of surviving. Julian and the team have solved the last piece of the mystery. 2 days later, evidence of the great gathering appears. Shells start to wash up on the shore. It's the same sight which baffled French zoologist Francois Perron over 200 years ago. Julian's research draws to a close.
Over the past month, we've found out a lot we didn't know about spider crabs. I now know that they are coming into the shallows in these areas to molt, to lose their old carapace and refresh it for the next year. I hope to continue doing research in this bay, and hopefully we can preserve the marine life that's here and keep it the way it is for the future.
Life for the spider crabs returns to normal. After several weeks, their new bodies have fully hardened. Thousands have survived the perils of molting. Now, it's the sea stars that are in danger. Predators become prey as the spider crab army marches on. For hundreds of years, people living near Port Phillip Bay have been baffled by strange shells washing up on their beaches. Now, thanks to the research of Dr. Julian Finn and his team, we know why they do. An army of great spider crabs comes to the bay to molt, helped by the fast currents and strong waves. Old bodies are cast off to make way for the new. Despite attacks from hungry predators, the crabs have strength in numbers. The army survives, regroups, and returns to the deep. The mystery of the mass march of the spider crabs has finally been solved.